The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Sandpiper Vacations. For the best in vacation plannings, just visit www.sandpipervacations.com. Let them know that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
So we're sitting outside on the patio at this really nice bar in West Hollywood, a gay bar. In walks, guess who?
Lance Bass.
No. Before Lance Bass walks in
Aaron Carter.
Abby Lee Miller.
Oh, close.
From Dance Moms.
Wow.
Did she walk or did she wheel?
Oh, yeah. Which?
It was before that. It was before all that.
No oxygen
Okay.
tank? This was pre-oxygen tank?
Yeah.
Wait a
This
second.
was pre-prison and everything.
Chris, do you know who Abby Lee Miller is?
Oh, absolutely. She's the discoverer of Jojo, Siwa, my Lord and Savior.
New potential episode name, Jojo Siwa, my Lord and Savior.
Broadcasting from the Sandpiper Vacation Studios. It's time for the No New Friends podcast. The podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. The good, the bad, and the funny.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
Like the guy said, we're the No New Friends podcast. Voted number one by our friends and family, we are the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. Now, if you'd like to connect with us, all of our social media links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and become a friend with benefits and join our clubhouse. That's our Patreon. And for as low as $2 a month, you can have a bunch of exclusive benefits, including entry into contests and games, exclusive content like early release episode on our episodes, or cutting room floor, all that good stuff. Streaming live on the YouTube, where you can watch us record every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then also follow us on the TikTok, where sometimes we go live from the Orlando parks. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, my talented cast of characters, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Happy birthday, us.
The Jewish American princess, Sarah.
Hello.
Our emotional sport gay, Nick.
It's me. I'm a gay, and I'm back.
And our producer, Alex.
I'm editing the podcast.
So, any of you catch the debate last night?
Nah.
I mastered the debate.
Oh, I watched that one. Yeah, I did watch that one. I know we were talking about that. Yeah. That was a way longer live stream than I expected. That was impressive.
Thank you. I just kept going and going.
It's like the Energizer Bunny.
And his dick kind of looks like Tim Wall's.
Oh. So, I did watch this debate, and there was
Sorry to hear that.
Nothing of noteworthiness.
Yeah,
Like,
except for when Tim Walz said he was friends with school shooters. I thought that was a little inappropriate.
he did say he was friends with school shooters. And then when
possibly disqualifying.
When JD Vance says, I thought it was in the rules that you were not going to be fact checking me tonight. So that was
pretty good. That's my new line whenever somebody calls me out. I didn't, where was the stipulation where you could fact check me? I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
I did love that. That was on par with alternative facts.
Yes. But it was how a debate usually goes when Donald Trump is not involved. They shook hands. They were very cordial with each other. They were chumming it up afterwards. But I got to tell you, Chris, if this is what politics is going to be like without Donald Trump involved, then I say let's abolish term limits, get that man in office so he can debate every 4 years.
Yeah. So here's my thing. There's a lot of people that will flee the country if Donald Trump wins. I'm going to flee the country if he's disqualified for running after this election. I want to go to a country with more entertaining politics. I hear the politics in Gambia are very, very interesting. I might take my talents to Gambia.
I'm with Chris. We could start an Eastern Hemisphere No New Friends podcast. You, me, and Lemen.
Oh yeah, he's back because we have 3 of his potential addresses that he sent us.
We do
4 of his potential identities, aliases.
Yep.
So we probably can find him.
It was so exciting. I thought we were going to have some content on Bubba Joe a couple weeks ago because all of a sudden he was not on Instagram, like he was gone, and I'm like, oh, I guess he finally got banned, and I was going to make a topic out of it, but then within the next 3 hours, he was back.
Yeah, he vanished like Building 7 on 9/11 and then rose from the ashes. No one was in that building. It's okay to say that.
Okay. All right. So speaking of politics, Sarah, Jimmy Carter update, please. How long has he been dead now?
Not at all. He just celebrated his 100th birthday. You know, we lost a lot of people recently, some very important people, famous people. He's not one of them. Guys, he's still going. He's not.
He's not, yeah.
He did say...
Did he get the Smucker's jar yet? On the Today Show, you get, if you turn 100, you get your name on the Smucker's jar.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Pretty bad reward.
I need to find this out, yeah.
He said he wants to make it until the 15th so that he can vote in the election. So I don't know. I started taking bets on him dying on the 14th, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
That would be on brand for,
It really would.
You see the pictures of him getting wheeled out for the flyover?
No.
Look it up.
Flyover?
It looks like they did a flyover for him of the jets. They couldn't see anything, but he could hear it a little bit. They rolled him out there. He looked like the that character from SpongeBob that goes, "They're selling what? Chocolates."
Oh.
Yeah, but way
It
paler.
It looks like a bed.
Yeah, he
That's
died.
a wheelchair.
He died 3 weeks ago.
Yet he's still more alive than Joe Biden.
It's still in democratic fashion. They'll still have him vote.
I am watching this documentary. It's called Stopping the Steal, and it is fantastic.
Yeah, what side is that on? I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch that or not.
You know what? So it's a lot of people within his inner circle who are talking about it, and it's like election officials from Arizona and all that, and they're very much like Donald Trump is crazy. Like he lost
I love
this
a
election.
Conspiracy doc. I would have loved to see it.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. There are plenty of interviews with people who believe that he won.
Good.
So you'll get your fill. You'll get your fill. But the people that died, you got Ken Page, who was the voice of Oogie Boogie. Maggie Smith from Harry Potter, Professor McGonagall, Pete Rose, famous gambler. I guess that lifetime ban is now over. He can be in the Hall of Fame.
As a Reds fan, too soon, Scott. Too soon.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? That's a good point. Lifetime ban.
Yeah, lifetime ban is over. He can join the Hall of Fame.
Who is John Amos?
John Amos. So he was in...
the guy that makes the cookies?
Yes, famous Amos. Yes. Yep. He was in Coming to America. He was like the future father-in-law. He was the father of the American woman.
And in the kitchen of millions of Americans.
Yes. He was in Die Hard 2.
So he's a B-lister.
Yeah, he's a B-lister, but he's like a bit like B+. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Dikembe Mutombo, famous basketball player with the no finger.
That was sad.
Never heard of him.
Former Magic player Joe Wolf. It's a rough week. Jimmy Carter's still alive. Is he out of hospice now? Like, has the time frame on hospice ran out for him?
I think he runs it now. I think that's what happens. If you stay there long enough, you are then elected the leader of hospice.
Nobody else can die until you do. I think that's rules.
So, I met Jimmy Carter once. Jimmy Carter, and I use this as like a two truths and a lie. A lot of times, he rode my boat when I drove the Jaws boats at Universal. No.
Oh, like literally, actually,
like he was sitting on the boat, him and Secret Service, and his
that's
wife.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and so it got me thinking because today something happened. I was at Hollywood Studios with Remy. And we ran into, well, let me explain how it happened. I was about to leave for the day. So I'm heading out for the restroom and I see the backside of a gentleman who looks kind of familiar based on the shirt that he's wearing. And Remy goes up and I'm like, oh my God, that's paging Mr. Morrow. That is like Chris's favorite human being.
He is.
Chris loves paging Mr. Morrow. And I'm like, oh my God, Remy is going to say hi to him. So sure enough, it was Mr. Morrow, I guess. Mr. Morrow. I don't know.
Mr.
Nate.
Tom Morrow.
Well, yes, Mr. Tom Morrow, but super nice guy. He took pictures with us. So I'm thinking, you know
probably
what?
Because knowing you probably fangirled to him. It's like, oh my God, I need your pic. And you're probably intoxicated.
You know what?
I can almost guarantee.
I only drank 3 today. Yeah, it was so hot, Nick, and
oh my gosh,
I wasn't prepared for how hot.
So meeting Mr. Morrow or the weather?
Both.
He's a sweaty looking guy.
Yeah, I didn't fangirl, Nick. So but what do best friends do? I know that Chris is a massive Paging Mr. Morrow fan.
Huge.
So,
for the viewers at home, I have his autograph on this Magic Band.
Do you really?
This is literally, I brought this to Comic-Con and I had him sign it for me.
That's funny. That's funny.
Super gay. I love that for you.
Yeah. So I'm telling Mr. Morrow, and I'm like, hey, my friend Chris is such a big fan of yours. I'm like, you're probably not going to remember this, but several years ago when you broke your camera, he sent you money, and he's like, oh yeah, that's crazy. That's so cool. Tell him I said hi. And I said, listen, I know you're busy, but is there any way we could maybe FaceTime him? And he's like, yeah, sure. No problem. To which Remy said, well, do you want me to do it? I'm like, no, I've got my phone. So, and I tell Mr. Morrow, I said, don't worry, you're not going to have to talk to him long. He's not even going to answer the phone. So I'm FaceTiming him. Sure enough, Chris doesn't answer.
No, I did not. I'm very self-conscious about Scott calling me too, because a lot of the times I'm a very popular person. I'm not, but my child is. So there's people in my house a lot to visit her, and I'm always attending to that. So today we are feeding my child solid foods for like the 3rd time. So I was not supervising, but helicoptering. And Scott calls me and I'm like, hey man, I'm at the, literally I said, I'm at the psychiatrist, getting my crazy pills. That's exactly what I said.
That's what he said.
And I was there that day. I was. And then he goes, okay, your loss. And he sends me a selfie of them. I sprint outside and I wanted to just, I kid you not, this is all true. I was getting just the sky in the background, so you couldn't tell I was outside my house. So I could have just said I ran outside the doctor's office. And I was going to tell Scott all this later. But I honestly thought Scott was just trying to FaceTime me with Remy at like Indiana Jones or something. So I was like, I'm supervising the solid food consumption of my child. I will see him tonight. And no, he was with my idol, my hero.
So when Chris doesn't answer, Remy on his Android, which spoiler alert does not have FaceTime, he's like, well, then I'll FaceTime him. I was like, dude, what makes you think he's going to answer you?
Works.
And you don't have FaceTime.
He called me because I knew what was going on. He called me. It rang 3 times and then hung up. Because I'm thinking, I literally just texted Scott. I'm at the doctor's office. Remy's probably calling and Scott goes, he's at the doctor's. Hang up. And he hung up. Is that what happened?
No, I said he's not going to answer.
And then
I don't know. I wasn't with him at this point. So I say goodbye. I see Remy and Mr. Morrow walking. So chances are Remy stalked him the rest of the day. And
yeah, Remy,
may
can you
still
put in
be with
chat
him.
how long you were with Nate after? I call him by his legal name because I donated money to him.
Yeah, you're allowed to.
Yeah. I had to put on my tax return, so I had to message him for a social security number. Remy, how long were you with Mr. Morrow after Scott left? And are you going to be in his video?
So as he's answering that, so I leave them. I go to the restroom. Chris then FaceTimes me.
It was right after you sent the picture. It was
right
after.
Yeah, it was right after I sent the picture, but that was on my way into the restroom. I had already left them.
Yes.
So, Nick, my thought process at that moment was I'm going to answer real quick, say, hang on, I'm peeing, and then I'm going to go run out and find them.
Not surprising. Well, I already knew that you were going to answer in the bathroom because you took a live stream camera into the bathroom one time. So
that is true.
Not
I
surprising.
did do that. But luckily, cooler heads prevailed, and I did not answer my phone. I said, "Bro, I'm pissing right now," and I said, "But I do have something for you," and that's when I sent the video.
He sent a video of Mr. Morrow giving me a little shout out. Now, when Scott took that live stream camera to the bathroom one time, it's like, "Oh my gosh, are you meeting Jimmy Carr?" Like, no, it's just Scott's penis. It's just as lifeless as Jimmy Carter.
But I told Mr. Morrow, I said, oh well, his loss, sucks to be him. He should have answered. He never answers. And he said, well, let's make a video for him real quick.
That was really cool of him. Thank you, Paging. I think his name is Paging.
Cool.
Yeah, Mr. Morrow is his last name. It's just Paging. Yeah.
So super nice guy. Now, something that I experienced at Hollywood Studios today is
was he looking exactly like him, but 20 years older?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put the picture on our Discord so they can see. It's him in 20 years.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is a glimpse into my future. So we did Rise of the Resistance, which has single riders lines. We only waited 5 minutes for Rise of the Resistance today, which is crazy. So real quick question, because I think 3 of us are going to answer one way and one of us is going to answer the other way. Chris.
Yeah.
You and Emily are at the park by yourselves. Mm-hmm. Do you do the single riders for Rise of the Resistance?
No.
You've ridden it before. You've ridden it before. Both of you have ridden it before.
Oh, would we? No, probably not.
So no, you wouldn't do single riders.
No.
It's an hour wait. It's a 95-minute wait.
I'd probably pay the $45 for the lightning lane. Because we love credit card debt.
Nick, would you and Sean do single riders?
Oh, a million %. We'd probably do it 3 times.
Okay. This is what I thought would be the predictable answer. Chris kind of ruined this bit. Sarah, Rise of the Resistance is a 3-hour wait. Single riders is a walk-on with a free tequila. Do you and Lewis split up and do single riders?
Wait. The circumstances have now changed entirely. A 5-minute wait and a shot of tequila, he would be like, babe, please go. Get your shot and meet me at the family bathroom at the end of the ride, please. That's what would happen. So, but realistically...
But he wouldn't do it too?
Well, there's still a family bathroom at the end. We're still going to meet there. So, yeah.
Well, he wouldn't do the single rider line too? He would.
I mean... If the condition...
And then you guys
if the condition was a shot of tequila and a walk-on, if there was, realistically no shot of tequila, no, we're not going to split up.
No.
Even a 3-hour wait.
Well, we wouldn't do it if it was a 3-hour wait, Scott, because we've already been on it.
But single riders was a 5-minute wait.
Not without my husband. But with a shot of tequila. You see the priorities.
We've even thought about doing it with Piper in line with us. And I think you have to be 7 or 8 years old to be a kid and do single rider line. Right. And I've almost had her lie just so that we could do a couple rides faster.
I will do single rider. Like my daughter, Michaela, the very first time she ever did rock and roller coaster, she was 10 years old. We did single riders line. Like I will do single riders line no matter what. First time I will do single rider. If single riders is available, I'm doing single riders. I feel like
it's not as fun with random people next to you.
I'm there for my own enjoyment.
A lot of things are more fun with random people next to you.
Now, I think the first time I'm riding something, I'm riding it with people. I'm not gonna, because I'm probably going through the line anyway. To experience the whole queue.
When you ride something for the first time, you always want people, strangers around you, Scott?
I always want strangers around me. Strange is best.
Nick, are you sure Scott's not your type?
I'm okay. I'm okay on that one.
I don't think Nick's a chubby chaser. I'm more up Sean's alley. Like, I've got some disabilities, by the pre-diabetes. Anyway, so, meeting Paging Mr. Martyr, it got me thinking about meeting other celebrities and was wondering if you guys had any crazy meeting celebrity stories. For me, I I definitely followed a local news reporter into the restroom so I can get an autograph.
No.
I was a kid. I was like in middle school.
A news reporter?
A local news reporter, like local news anchor. He sat in the big chair, but I did follow him into the restroom to get an autograph.
I didn't expect the plot twist that you were a kid when it happened. I thought that you were an adult, but.
So Sarah, any embarrassing or fun celebrity meeting in the wild, not at your work, where like you do meet some celebrities?
No, not out in the wild, but I do I do work in Daytona Beach, so that kind of feels like the wild, honestly. Nobody of importance really comes to see us. So it is cool when it happens.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
Mine is a little obscure. I did talk about my story about how I met the Eagles kicker at Whole Foods the one time. And I had to Google his wife and told him that I Googled his wife.
Right. Yes, I do remember that story.
Yeah. So that was the main one. But the more obscure story is, for years there was this homeless guy that what circulated on our neighborhood page, like the What's Up in Blank page type thing. And the first time I ever met him was like really that was a cool moment, because like I'm in the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts and he's there right after the drive-thru. Veteran homeless guy move. He actually turns out he's not homeless. He's just a swindler. I respect his game.
You respect the game, yeah.
I thought he was homeless at the time. So I ordered my food and my coffee, and I get to him and I was like, "Hey, you must be Steven." And he didn't even say like nice to meet you or anything. He said, "Do you have anything extra for me, money wise?" He literally said that, money wise. So I had a bag of food. I said, "No." I said, "But would you like this coffee? It's cold out." And he goes, and I give it to him, and he goes, "Do you have any cream and sugar?" And then I just drove off. I was pretty pissed. But that was when I met Steven, the homeless guy. That was pretty groundbreaking. I texted all my friends and I was the talk of the town for at least a week. When you meet someone like that, it's pretty monumental. I think a little bit better than meeting a local news anchor was the local famous Facebook famous homeless guy. But
I thought of a good one, actually. Now,
okay.
Because we're right here next to the racetrack in Daytona. I was a teenager and we were out at PetSmart, all right, my mom and I, and we ran into a famous NASCAR driver at the time.
Can I guess? Was it Rusty Kuntz? That's an actual guy's name.
Poor guy.
That's an actual guy's name.
At the time, he was more well known, but it was Jamie McMurray. And my mom is a huge NASCAR fan, always has been, always will be. And I remember that she totally fangirled out hardcore. And I'm just standing there completely traumatized. And she's like, "I don't mean to bother you. I know you're like buying pet food and stuff and doing your thing. And I'm not going to tell anybody that you're here, but I'm a big fan and it is so nice to meet you." And this woman walked to the next aisle within earshot still and found the first person she could. And she's like, "Do you know who's in the aisle next to us? It is Jamie McMurray." And I'm just standing there absolutely traumatized, beyond traumatized. And I can't believe that I forgot about that, because it's still think about it to this day, obviously.
That's a great story.
I do have to fact check myself. Rusty Kuntz was an American baseball coach. I was thinking of pro NASCAR driver Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle, yeah.
Dick Trickle, yeah. Yes, very similar names.
Now, I make obscure people famous. So, like, there's this guy at Disney Springs that is always wearing like sequins, a sequins jacket.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. And he always stands right outside of World of Disney watching whatever performance is on. So, of course, I've taken a picture with him. And then I think, was that when you were there?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was like a famous. Yeah.
I don't go to Disney Springs, but he's famous on like the annual pass holder page.
I don't think I've ever seen that picture because you're old and don't notice in pictures.
And I was definitely probably drunk and depressed.
100%.
And then like there's a bartender at Universal. His name is Murph over at Shea Alcatraz, and he does this little Sharky thing. And so I have to get a picture with him because he's famous. And like, I will fangirl over people that like are not really famous. They just happen to be in my feed, like that college program girl at Animal Kingdom who may be related, maybe unrelated, hasn't really posted a video since that day. So I don't know if she feels
a good reception in your basement. That's probably why.
or maybe she felt like her privacy was infringed on. I don't know. Nick, any celebrity meetings?
I was wondering when you're going to get to me, because now I have like 100 of them I'm thinking of. I've met a lot of celebrities. Oddly, living in Ohio, I've met a bunch. MTV, Real World Road Roll stars. Met Lance Bass not once but twice.
Oh wow!
So
intimately?
First time. I wish. The first time I met him,
all the gay people know each other.
Yeah. It was at a gay bar.
So like that's not
in
a
Chicago.
shocking.
Well, the shocking story, I guess not shocking, is I wasn't allowed to go into the bathroom because he was in there, which meant he was doing a line of coke. Because it was you don't give a shit when you're Lance Bass. So the second time I met him was actually
would you like to do a line of cock instead, sir?
Yeah. Second time I met him was actually when we went to California for our wedding, LA, at a gay bar, of course.
Of course.
So Sean and I, when we got married out there, it was actually 10 years ago. Thank you for acknowledging my wedding anniversary as well, too, guys. I appreciate that.
I think I wish you a happy anniversary on Facebook.
You did. Thank you.
I think we did an episode where we thanked you or congratulated you.
I don't remember.
That was your character that did, not your actual self.
Oh,
yeah. I want the real you. So we're sitting outside on the patio at this really nice bar in West Hollywood, a gay bar. In walks, guess who?
Lance Bass.
No, before Lance Bass walks in,
Aaron Carter.
Abby Lee Miller.
Oh, close.
From Dance Moms.
Wow.
Did she walk or did she wheel?
Oh, yeah. Which?
It was before that. It was before all that.
No oxygen tank? This was pre-oxygen tank?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
This was pre-prison and everything.
Chris, do you know who Abby Lee Miller is?
Oh, absolutely. She's the discoverer of Jojo Siwa, my Lord and Savior.
New potential episode name, Jojo Siwa, my Lord and Savior.
So she walks into the bar and we're kind of in shock. We look over and we're with a friend of mine that lives there, and he's not surprised because he sees celebrities all the time. He works for a reality show, and so he's just like, whatever. So next she walks in, drops presents off. It's September. She's dropping like presents off because they're doing a Christmas and September party, which was very confusing.
Is it the gay bar still?
Yeah, so it's not the gay bar.
Pretty gay.
So they had like these hot, sexy Santa dancers there that night. One of the sexy Santa dancers, we actually knew him from working the gay bars in Columbus, who then later became the gardener on Ellen.
The gardener?
He was like a straight gardener, fake gardener guy on Ellen.
Interesting.
That she did like towards the end. So then walks in Lance Bass. So he drops the present off. He sticks around and hanging out in there. So we stalked him, got a picture. Super nice. He was not on drugs that night. After that, we had Ross Matthews walked in with like a whole gaggle of comedians. So I'm fangirling out because they were all just finished filming like Chelsea Lately, because it was all the comedians from that show.
Sure.
So we got some pictures with them. Super amazing, everything. Nothing really awkward about it, but the biggest one I regret to my husband for not cheating on me is we went to D23 Expo in 2019, which is the Disney Fan Expo. He comes out of the bathroom. He's like, I just peed next to Matthew Morrison. Why he did not reach over and say, do you need a hand? I don't know.
Like,
I think he's very straight.
Matthew Morrison.
Go ahead, Sarah. Work it out.
Glee?
Yes.
Glee. Yes.
Listen, I did in fact watch every season of that. I don't know if I should admit to that or not.
In case you didn't know, Sarah, we haven't talked about it before, but Glee was filmed in Lima, where I'm originally from.
Oh my God,
it wasn't
no
filmed
way.
in Lima; it was based in Lima.
Yes. And Sarah, you officially get your ally flag now.
Yeah.
Did I not have one already?
Of course you did, but for joke purposes, identifying Abby Lee Miller before or after wheelchair, and knowing who Matthew Morrison is.
That was a lot of gay card issues right there.
Yeah.
My mother watched a lot of Dance Moms, so I'm very familiar.
I was obsessed.
You know, it would be fun one time if Nick quizzed us on gay culture and went through all these people. And
so that brings us to a good point, actually. I did kind of want you guys, it's been a while. I want you to move out of the way. I'm gay.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
And it's really funny you bring it up, because I wanted to do a Move On Gay segment tonight, and we talked about it beforehand a little bit, but I didn't tell you guys what I wanted to talk about.
No idea.
And it was actually gay culture.
Oh,
wow.
So I've been watching, I follow...
Call me Madam Clea.
Yeah.
Wasn't she the psychic?
Call me now.
No, it was Cleo.
Yeah,
Cleo.
Sorry. Call me now.
Yeah. I've been watching these comedians on TikTok that I am obsessed with now, and they started doing these gay culture things to try to see what straight people think these words and terminology means. I know we've had Abby's segment where we've learned about the Gen Z, Gen Alpha.
Gen
now?
Alpha, yeah.
I just learned that today too.
Yeah.
There's all those words. We have words in the gay community, and I want to test your guys' knowledge.
I love this. I'm so excited about this.
So,
anytime I can play a game with a gay, it's game on.
I love a good game night.
Yes.
So,
Gay
game
night.
night. A segment within a segment. We're like the butterfly effect now.
In the straight community, we call that just the tip.
Oh, fun. I like that.
It is actually true.
We play that game too, so it's not really just straight
Rachel
terminology, I
calls
guess. So I looked up some gay terms that I want to see what you guys think it means.
All right. Should we? Okay. So are we gonna buzz in?
So we can do.
Okay. And we have to make a
raise
buzz
your hand
button
or something.
We'll make a buzz noise.
Yeah,
Anything.
but it has to be like super gay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. Let the trolley.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Which one night I think we should do gay icons. So
sure.
we'll keep that.
This could be your game. I don't care.
I love
game night. GAYME
night.
Whatever you want. Sky's the limit.
I know we've talked about some of these before, but let's refresh your knowledge maybe, or just see first thing that comes to your mind. What is a bear?
Yeah.
Before the parade passes by.
What?
Broadway. I think any Broadway quote is what Scott thinks is gay.
We were buzzing in. He went.
I said yes.
That was your buzz.
Yeah, that was my buzz.
That wasn't your answer. I'm so. Geez,
Yeah.
That was
but Chris buzzed in first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my answer is going to be a large, hairy man.
That is correct. Yeah, that is very correct. All right. Next question. What is a twink?
The most beautiful sound I ever heard, Maria. That is a new gay, a young new gay.
Who's also slim.
Who's also slim.
Usually smooth and hairless.
Smooth, hairless.
Good job, Scott.
Thank you.
A lot of criteria.
Solid B, I know. Solid B plus.
So we've talked, I feel like we talked before, there's even segments within the bear community. I'm not going to go into those tonight. One of the other ones I guess we can talk about, what's a daddy?
Don't be a drag, just be a queen.
I love this. All right, Mr. Chris, what is your answer?
You, daddy.
What exactly is a daddy,
I would say
besides me?
the person you submit to. It's a pretty good answer.
Yeah. That is a good one. What do you think, Scott? Sarah?
Oh,
it's basically Lewis.
See, for me, that's Poppy. When referring to Daddy, it's usually Daddy Anakin or Daddy Pedro Pascal, but that's a different story. Lewis is Poppy.
It's a story for another night. All right, good job, Chris. Next one is, what is a top?
No matter gay, straight or bi, lesbian, transgendered life, I'm on the right track. Baby, I was born to survive. That would
Damn
be
it, I was going to do a Lady Gaga song.
That would be the person who penetrates.
Correct. The insertive role, as ChatGPT calls it. All right.
See, I know the answers. I'm just trying to think of my buzzer. That's my biggest problem.
I literally Googled gay songs and I'm just saying them all because I know all of them.
Yeah, I might know the answer, but I'm letting you guys answer because it's way more fun to watch.
and by when I say Googling when I say Googling gay song, I'm just opening my playlist on Spotify.
All right. So next question is, what is a power bottom?
Ooh.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
All right, Scott.
That's the person who's on the bottom during sex. Receiving.
But what is a... not the correct answer.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know. I'm gonna let it show. Sorry, my buzz wasn't over yet. I'm going to guess that this is the person that is on the bottom, but is taking on more than one partner.
Ooh.
Basically, essentially, a power bottom, is one that takes a more active, dominant role during sexual activity. It's basically someone that just puts their ass up to anybody. They'll take it all. All right, let's do two more. Which one do I want to do? There's some really good ones on here. All right, let's do, what is pup play?
What is it? Pup play?
Pup, P-U-P. Pup.
When are you gonna come down? When are you going to land? I should have stayed on the farm. I should have listened to my old man. Elton John. Any Elton John song I feel like is a good buzz.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't sound very gay.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that song. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna guess it's when you are fiddling around with a younger man. Or maybe an
It's
otter.
raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men.
All right, Scott.
When I don't make my dog move from the bed when having sex with my wife.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Pup play.
Oh, you guys are both wrong. Sarah, do you have anything? Pup. P-U-P. Pup play.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bringing out a whole nother weird fetish that I heard of. So
heard of.
What, have you guys never seen those videos on like Facebook or TikTok of those people who actually enjoy dressing like animals?
Oh, I've seen
Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Really? I don't like being right about that one.
She's like, I don't know from experience, but as Lewis is hopping around behind her in a dog outfit. It's basically it's a form of BDSM role play, or one partner assumes the role of a submissive puppy, as in a dog.
Oh wow! So a literal
wow.
So they wear a leather. It's usually like a leathery type dog mask.
Oh, I've seen that.
Sometimes they have a tail. And I'll let you just picture where that tail is attached to.
Spoiler alert, butt plug.
Yes, correct. It's something that's becoming very, very, very popular in the LGBTQ plus IA community. So
TQ.
Bless you. All right, last one here. Cruising.
Man, I feel like a woman.
That was a close one.
Stand alone. I hear you call my name, and it feels like home. Sorry, so Scott won that one, but my buzzer just wouldn't go off.
Scott won that one, but you had a production show, so I'm gonna
let Chris do it. Let Chris do it.
I'm going to say when you're going from hotel room to hotel room, just you're cruising on down the hallway, going from room to room to room to room, having sex, anal sex. Gay sex.
Just anal sex.
Yes, gay sex.
Gay sex. Yeah,
sex.
Gay sex.
All right. That's okay. Scott,
what's the word again? I was just more focused on myself. Cruising.
It could also just be Nick having sex.
You know how I go on vacations all the time.
Yeah. That I actually know this one. That is when you're mailing it in and you are just on cruise control and you just do the sex without thinking about it. It's just mailing it in. Like maybe you're tired, but it's like, hey, I got to put out. Yes, Abby. Good night, sweetheart. Give me a hug.
Please. Abby, please go to sleep 2 minutes ago.
Love you.
Good night, Abby. We love you. All right, so what does cruising mean?
That'll teach her to come in here during recordings.
So back to crazy. It was kind of close in a sense.
I'm close as well.
Wait, who's close?
Both kind of.
Both of them were really close.
Kind of.
Okay.
So it's basically cruising is searching for anonymous sexual encounters, typically in public places.
Sounds like a pedophile, Nick. I'm not sure this. It sounds like a lot like Scott. Like it just sounds like Scott just going from park to park.
And I don't think I was even close at all.
We'll just give it to you.
Okay.
Just wanting to have sex with anything that walks. So we can also, this is synonymous with Scott.
And that's been our fun game. Gay.
I love that.
Why doesn't Gay Master Ryan do this segment?
We'll have him. We need him on because we chat about this in our group messages with him sometimes, and he's been learning a lot about the LGBT community as well too. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Nick.
It's my favorite community.
Nick's on the mic, so it's time to take notice. And if you don't like it, that's homophobic. Stay the hell out of his way. Move, I'm gay.
So, Nick, you just had a birthday. You missed last week. Sarah missed last week. We missed you guys. So how was your birthday?
My birthday was old. I feel old.
Oh, okay.
I turned 40. It hit me on the day that I was 40. And I had a little bit of depression for a second, and then I realized I was in paradise. Actually, no, I was in Ohio at that time. So I was not in paradise yet. I was still in Ohio.
It would only be paradise for Chris.
Yeah. I heard you were in Sean.
Unfortunately, not that day. Sean had to work. I had my parents in town, so they took Piper out, and so I literally spent my birthday alone in my house.
It sounds really nice, actually.
I thought it was going to be nice. My mom's like, "Oh, this is great. You can have some alone time and just like check out, get ready to pack for your vacation," because we left the next day. And I literally laid in my bed for like an hour, and I'm like, I'm 40, and like everything in the past 40 years like replayed through my life or through my mind. I started listening to Celine Dion. I was sobbing. I was
Nick, this sounds like a really nice day. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wish you were here to cuddle me. It would have made it 10 times
really
better.
nice. The FaceTime, the 3-hour FaceTime we had just did not suffice.
Yeah,
we didn't talk at all. That's probably why.
I felt like a Sarah McLachlan commercial. It was just like, you're 40 now. So it was rough. And then I realized we were heading on vacation the next day. So I was getting excited, and we left for Mexico bright and early on Sunday morning. Just me and Sean this trip. So it was our first trip we've done together alone in like 2 years, I think.
Can I ask you a question about that, Nick?
Yes, please.
So if who was this for? Because it was your anniversary, right? But it was also for your birthday. Mm-hmm. But knowing you and knowing Sean, Sean was the one who wanted to go to the Nickelodeon resort.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That was definitely not you.
100%.
Like I saw videos of getting slimed or something. I'll
get to that. So this trip was different. We had literally planned it about a month in advance because that's what I do for a living. So I'm pretty good at finding like a last minute deal as well too. We normally go on cruises, as you guys know, and we wanted to try something different. Sean's never done all inclusive. We love Mexico. We love Mexican food. So we're like, let's go down to Cancun.
You're anti-wall.
No, knock it down. Build more tacos, please. All the freaking tacos, all the tequila. Sarah's with me on that one.
Absolutely.
So we decided to go to Cancun. We connected with one of my property sales managers and found this amazing 5-star resort that we had a swim out room for a couple nights, and then we moved to an overwater bungalow for 2 nights.
That's awesome.
Which I'll get into the overwater bungalow in a minute because I know Scott's been itching for it, and by Scott I mean Rachel's wallet.
It's not even me, dude. It's not even me. After you went live, like, she has done full, like, I'm not wearing a mask. I've done my own research, like looking into this resort. Mm-hmm. She wants to book now. She wants to do like,
and who would she call to book?
Of course, you.
I hope so.
But she wants it to be you and Sean and me and her, Chris and Emily, Lewis and Sarah. She is like full on planning this trip. I text the group, crickets. Nobody wants to do this trip.
Yeah, my wallet beat the shit out of me when you sent that. I texted permission.
I texted the group too, which we'll get into later. So remind me about the picture that I sent that I got crickets on. Still mad about that. But first, can we back up? So last week's episode I listened to, it was just you two.
It was.
You talked about the fact that I might not be here today. I might die. And thank you for checking in with me.
I'm glad you took that away from it and not that gay people kill people.
I ignored that part. I focused on the death part.
I'm on your side.
We were in a hurricane.
And how crazy was that?
The fact that we were through it, it was, looking at it now, I'm just like, whatever. It was, to me, it was like a rainstorm. But I don't look at the weather when I travel anymore, just because I don't trust the weather people when they're like, it's an 80% chance that it's going to snow tomorrow, but also an 80% chance it's going to be 90 degrees.
And that was that your first hurricane?
That was my third. Actually.
Oh, wow.
I was down in New Orleans one time during a hurricane and got evacuated.
Katrina?
No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it was Hurricane Gustav.
We're gonna swim to Alabama.
If Nick was in Helene and Katrina, that would be like the 2 worst hurricanes in U.S. history.
Maybe it's my fault.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's the gays taking over the world is what we're doing.
Right.
You did this. You made that.
It was all my fault. So we don't look at the weather.
Aaron Hernandez kill.
Yeah, it's the gays' fault that hurricanes get people.
Basically, that's how we do it. We'd throw glitter in it, though, I feel. that shit, it's never going away.
You walk outside, you come back inside looking like Dua Lipa, then it's like, okay, this is the gays.
Yeah. You would know it's our hurricane.
You look like Eliza Minnelli. Are you sure this is a regular hurricane?
So we didn't look at the weather, and we got a message from my parents the next day, and they're like, oh, it looks like you guys are getting some rain. And I looked up, I'm like, no, it's like perfectly sunny. Like, we're getting burnt today. And then the next day we hear rumbles that there's a storm coming through that's might turn into a hurricane. And then the next day they're like, okay, it's a Category 1 hurricane right out front of our door as we're at a resort about to move to an overwater bungalow in a hurricane. So
did you complain to management?
So I'm like, I don't know how this works. I'm assuming they're designed for hurricanes. I hope so.
Can't you shoot missiles at the hurricane for us?
Yeah,
it's only in Florida.
So the weather really wasn't bad where we were. It was windy, but not awful. It was a little rainy here and there.
We watch Cancun very closely because we're going to Cancun in February. So you got like the side of it as a tropical storm. Like it was mostly, it was kind of like what Sarah and I probably experienced here in Florida. It was just the feeder bands, a lot of rain, a good amount of wind, but nothing.
We had the part where the rain or the wind was pulling inwards to the hurricane. So that was a weird experience because it was building up that momentum where we were. So what was odd is Sean and I just didn't give a shit. We were just like, you know what? We're happy. The resort showed no signs of like urgency or any sort of alert. They're like, this is normal. So we're like, okay, that's fine. So we had our dinners, went to the spas, we did some resort tours. So this property is also owned by Nick, and here's where we'll get into that, is they own the Nickelodeon resort down there. So there's two Nickelodeon resorts that just opened, I think like 5 or 6 years ago. So they're pretty new. There's one in Punta Cana, one in Riviera Maya. This resort, hands down, it almost made Disney look bad.
Really?
In the way that they themed their resort. The attention to detail everywhere was almost better than Disney in some spots.
Interesting.
So they brought in Ninja Turtles were in the pizza shop, and the way the pizza shop was laid out was like amazing in there.
Okay, so they're so focused on detail that they forgot that they don't own the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IP.
Yes, they do.
Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Then why was it in the Disney parks?
It was at Universal.
Why was
that
done
was
in Disney?
MGM? I think it was at MGM at the time.
They were at one point, but now they're not. People buy and sell things all the time.
So Nickelodeon owns the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. There's a show on Nickelodeon.
No. Is there really?
Yes.
Disney now owns Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. People just buy and sell things, dude.
Things can happen.
Right.
But
read a book, bro.
Scott,
we burn them here. I don't read the books.
You remember working at did you work at Universal, or were you, because I know you're older, so maybe, did you work at Universal when Nickelodeon was there?
Yes.
God, you're old. I was like 6 at the time. You guys weren't even born. Did you guys ever go, Chris and Sarah, did you guys ever go to Universal when they had Nickelodeon?
No.
That was a dream when I was very young, you know?
Like we all
back
had
when
that dream.
Scott was working there.
The iconic orange blimp was like everywhere, the orange color, but it wasn't like in your face with it. They had SpongeBob.
No, they were just in our feet.
Who?
Sorry, continue. That was a
foot fetish joke?
Yeah, it's fine.
Gross.
Moving on. Alex,
Chris is like, type, I got you.
I'm trying to scale my really inappropriate joke down like 10 levels. So that makes the episode.
As we're talking about Nickelodeon. So I've dreamed about being slimes since I was a kid. I wanted to get slimed at Nickelodeon at Universal in a different way.
I feel like you get slimed every night if you pull out. Never, sorry.
They have an awesome water park there. And it's really cool. There's like a SpongeBob area, like a Paw Patrol, I think it was Paw Patrol area, and then some bigger water slides.
Is that keyword for like playing with pops?
it might have been. I was looking for some of those daddies that were down there.
That ball control. I mean, patrol. Never mind.
So at the water park, we went back because it was Sean's idea. And my idea too, because we're very impressed by the resort. They had a Snick area. The bar was very well themed to Nick at Night.
Oh, that's cool.
So it had
they
some
have a
really
Cosby
cool.
show playing.
Wait, hold on.
They roofie everyone's drink.
Snick wasn't.
Not Nick at Night, but the teen.
Snick was like, "Are you afraid of the dark?" And what was
all
that like? All that. Yep.
They had.
Did they have a producer come out and molest you? I'm sorry. That was really bad.
They had Pickle Man.
It's real life.
Pickle Man was that's where he was banished to.
They had a good burger there.
Wow, really?
Wow.
A good burger restaurant. So I was kind of nerding out with that because Keenan Kel was amazing, but we found out that the water park, you can get slimed every single day at 1:30 in the afternoon. And
like slime or just water that's food colored green?
That's what we were wondering, because what had happened was it's if you go to like any water park, there's usually like that bucket area that like spills over and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that type of concept in that area. So they close it down at 1 o'clock. All these like crazy Nickelodeon people come out and they're trying to dance and stuff. And we don't understand what they're saying because 99% of it was in Spanish. And we're like, we're just ready for the slime. When's it coming? What's going to happen? And then they started counting down from 10 in Spanish. Sean's over there confused because all he knows is the word hola. If you watch my Instagram stories, he learned 2 words in Mexico. It was like hola and then poquito, which means small or smaller, right, Sarah?
Poquito,
Yes.
tiny, very small.
Very small?
Yeah.
Scott would know that word. So we find out that there's going to be the sliming. So they're counting down and everything. We're standing under this. They turn all the waters off like 5 minutes before this happens.
I usually give my wife a countdown before I slime her too.
DAs.
It's usually right when I get in. It's like, all right, 3 more seconds. 2, 1, slime. She tries to say, I don't know at the same,
So what I pictured the slime to be was basically like food coloring added to the water or something.
Yeah.
What I tasted was different.
Little applesauce. Right? Like green applesauce.
I don't know what they used, but it was not great.
Oh.
And I had a lot of it in my mouth. So picture what's the guy from Marvel? The Hulk? The green one? The
Yes.
giant?
Yeah.
It's Iron Man.
Picture or Iron Man. Any of the green one. Oh, the green one.
The Jolly Green Giant.
Picture him jerking off.
Oh my gosh!
Every night.
That's what it felt like. All over my face.
Oh, okay.
Was it warm?
Yeah. It was warm. It had texture. It had a sense. It had a taste. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
what
I imagined and more, I feel. Sorry.
Yeah, back when Nickelodeon was at Universal Studios, part of the it was called the Game Lab, Nickelodeon Game Lab, and it was like, oh, we're creating a new game, but you also got to go to the GAC Lab, I think it was what it was called, and it was where they were like testing new slimes, and you got to taste some of the slime, and it was
Scott was banned from there.
We're all too young to remember it. All I have is my like little 8mm pictures to look at. So.
Right.
Scott only has an 8mm penis.
Wait, isn't that big?
And that's the thing too.
It's average.
Can we talk about the fact that on Grindr there, guys measure their penis in centimeters?
Oh, that's new.
I had to use Google Translate a lot on measurements. A lot.
Wow, that sounds big. Oh no, it's not.
Yeah. So we did the Nickelodeon. It was super awesome. Lived through a hurricane. So we literally moved from our swim out suite to the overwater bungalow during the hurricane. Luckily,
It's clear water. Right? It's not stirred up at all.
Yeah. The day before, the water is perfectly clear. The next day, the water is almost over top of our balcony. So we moved over there. Actually, the weather really wasn't bad. You could barely even tell it was windy in there. We still enjoyed the pools and everything. Ordered some pizza via room service, sat out in the pool, butt naked a few times. Speaking of butt naked, I did send you guys a picture. Never got a comment. The picture, I'm going to describe it to people at home or that are watching on YouTube right now. The picture was a shot of my tequila and 2 swimsuits behind it.
Really? There were swimsuits behind it?
And the picture was me taking the picture in the pool.
I don't think you were drunk.
I think you were drunk. You just sent us a picture of tequila.
No, honestly, what's funny is I saw that picture and I was like, oh, they must have like gotten out, changed. Their bathing suits are just in the background. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a subtle window.
We were still in the pool. Butt naked. We were waiting for a response. Sean didn't even commented. We got nothing.
You know what is funny about your photo? You know what is funny about your photos is me and Emily were looking at them on Facebook, and Emily's like, I can tell the ones that Nick takes for his grinder.
You're correct. My new brands that I've discovered is going to be me in a swimsuit. By swimsuit, I mean Speedo, in a pool with pizza. I feel like this is my new brand. So I have to do that moving forward now.
I love that.
Yeah. But all in all, we stayed at Palafitos overwater bungalows in Mexico. These bungalows were absolutely amazing. We had our own private pool, table out there where we could get room service via text message.
Cool.
Which is super awesome. We had a butler, so they would basically do everything for us. So it was an awesome experience. I went live when we were there, and just seeing all your guys' comments as well too just made us happy, and nice way to celebrate our anniversary. And I know you guys were very excited to see it too.
Yeah, it looked like you guys had a ton of fun. It was beautiful, and I guess I'm going to be booking a trip there. So
yes.
When I say my wife.
Yeah, I still have her credit card number, so we're good. It's already booked.
Sarah, so Chris has stumbled upon something that I think we need to discuss with you. Okay.
No.
One, you have a lot of stuff, a lot of vintage clothing, and you like to make / save money, right?
Yes.
So Chris is now on this app called, what is it, Chris? Whatnot?
It's called Whatnot. Yes.
Why don't you do, because I think this is a perfect fit for Sarah.
Yeah, so after spending a lot of my own money on Whatnot, I was like, I should probably try to recoup some of this money. So I signed up for Whatnot, and I am now a Whatnot seller. I had 3 shows. I've actually people messaging me during the show asking if I'm going live tonight. People that I met on Whatnot. I'm selling a lot of my old Star Wars cards that I had just sitting in a closet. And it is amazing the people that will just come on and buy stuff that you didn't think had any value. And the coolest part about this is the addictiveness of it, the addictiveness to watch the streams, to buy on the streams, and now to sell on the streams. It's like TikTok, but you're actually making money.
You're actually making money.
It's like QVC for...
It's
like TikTok, like you show your own product and then somebody bids, or
it's like if eBay, QVC, and TikTok had a baby.
Yeah, it's eBay Live is essentially what
it's live
it is.
eBay. Yeah, and you only have 30 seconds to bid, so you can't look up the price of things. So it's like you either want this item and buy it, or you're out of luck. It's gambling.
Or you're
it's
like me and you're trying to drive the price up so that Chris can make more money, and I get stuck with a Finding Nemo trading card.
Yeah, Scott took home a few things. I sent the package out. It should be there tomorrow. Please leave me a 5-star review.
Yeah.
So funny enough, I do actually have an account on there.
Okay.
It's like a stagnant account because I signed up for it because I know other resellers that use it quite a bit, and I'm better at taking pictures and posting stuff than I am at actually doing live streams. So I need to get better about that because
you have a lot of practice,
I actually
Sarah.
Partner with Lewis.
Yes.
Lewis, you put your product up there. Lewis can do it'll be great for the Spanish audience.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, perfect. So I'll just describe the item. I'll hold it up. I'll do the thing, and then he can translate it.
Exactly.
No, he holds it up. You talk in the background, and then he models the stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's very
that'll
inclusive.
drive up sales.
Yeah, very inclusive. You'll hit the
100%.
algorithms real good.
But
Nick,
I guess
I'll make sure to let you know when he does crop tops and sweatpants and stuff. Okay? I got you.
But Sarah, I guess Chris said that a lot of people are selling like vintage clothing and stuff.
Yeah, a
and
ton.
just different
They
clothing
do.
on there.
A ton.
That'd be a great way for you to get rid of some of that stuff.
Sarah's like, I made a lot of those people millionaires.
I just took a trip to Goodwill the other day. I actually wanted to find one nice shirt to wear for a job interview. And I walked out with a lot more than that. But I found some really cool stuff that would be perfect to sell, along with the multiple bins outside in my garage.
There you go, Sarah. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't move it to another house. I've moved it. This is
Right.
this is the
last
second
stop.
house, so this is the last stop.
So, Chris, where can you be found on Whatnot?
Okay, so here's the thing. Unfortunately, when I signed up with Whatnot, it signed up with my Gmail account. So it's my full legal name. And I can't change it while any orders are in process. And it's going to always be processing. So you can find me on Whatnot at Christopher Yob.
Christopher Michael Yob, Social Security.
And you know what? I was just going to change it to I was like, you know what? I'll just keep my name because my name, Chris Yob, sounds different, unique. It's not like, Mike Jones, right? So like, I'll just change it to Chris Yob. Then I could sell anything. I'm not subjected to just Star Wars or just Disney or Pokemon. And I got to change it. Like, you cannot change your username while orders are being processed. Like, all right, well then I'm never going to be able to change my username, or I have to like take a break from Whatnot for a month to change my user. So anyway, Christopher Yob on Whatnot. You can find me. And if you follow me on Instagram at Yob Collects, I will be posting cards that I buy, and then I'll be posting updates about my Whatnot show. I do a lot of giveaways. Scott actually won a giveaway on my Whatnot. You don't have to buy anything to win the giveaway. Just got to be watching the show and enter the giveaway. So check me out.
Yeah, it was cool. I won the guy that says "This is the way" from the
it was actually a really cool autograph.
Yeah, with an autograph.
Misty Rosas. It's a good autograph. I did not want to give that away. I was actually disappointed that
you can keep it.
No, it's already.
I was just there to support you.
It's already. I'm a man of my word.
I'll send it when I send your Halloween stuff.
Yeah, from 2 years ago. I can't even fit in that stuff anymore.
Chris, you got any Cliff Notes?
I do.
It's been quite the show. A lot of stuff's happened, so nothing can stop this little boy from recapping the day the Chris's Cliff's Notes way.
So we don't have any Florida man versus Jersey man tonight, which is fine because they're absent from tonight's show, just like Scott was absent in Darren's life for the first 20 years. So I just made that up. That was pretty bad. We got an update of Jimmy Carter from Sarah. He's still alive, but man, does he look the opposite. If he looked any more dead, you would have mistaken him for Joe Biden. Then I have one more. If he looked any more not there, you'd mistaken him for the tip of Trump's ear.
Oh my God.
Scott went on a ride called Rise of the Resistance. That is also the nickname of Scott's penis and his wife. Rise and then Resistance. Scott asked us if I would partake in a single rider's line. And at first I was super confused that he was talking about a Disney ride. Single rider is usually what Nick and I call a night in together. We talked about running into celebrities, and Scott actually failed to mention the biggest celebrity he ran into while on TikTok live stream. This was a pathological liar from Lake Mary.
Oh my God.
I didn't say any names. Kind of. Wow. We talked about the gay community, and honestly, the gay community is one of my favorite communities. Scott's favorite community is the gated community.
Spelled with a G-A-Y.
Nick talked about how you have the opportunity to get slimed every day at 1:30 p.m. at the Nickelodeon Resort. Funny enough, that was the third time that day that Nick got a bucket of slime poured on him. This is the one that I had to tone down so much, and it's still pretty bad. Scott was shocked at the notion that the Ninja Turtles are now owned by a different company. He has a hard time realizing that things like that can change. True story, he saw a Japanese person on the street the other day and wondered why they weren't in an internment camp. So, okay, here's the thing. The Japanese were put in internment camps during World War II. I had a lot of other races I could have put in there, but I did not want to make it a very racist joke. So, yeah, we don't poke fun at the Japanese that much. We'll do that. That was so much worse in my head. I settled for Japanese internment camp. And lastly, this is actually a serious one. Hurricane Helene devastated a portion of the country. So I did want to recite a line from the scripture. Quote, "Thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not cheat, thou should not get caught or you'll end up just like me. Karma's a bitch, I should have known better. Siwa 3:16. And those are my Cliff Notes.
Thank you so much, Chris.
It was a slow burn.
You know, I feel like I'm going to have to go out and buy some trading cards now. Like I never wanted to be into trading cards, and I don't want to collect them. So what'll be great is it'll be easier for me to sell them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't care
the ball.
But I won't care. It's like, this one's worth $1,000. Great. So
yeah. You thought you spent a lot at the parks. Wait till you get into trading cards.
I know. That's all I need is another social media addiction to spend $1,100 on one.
Yeah, you're gonna be. I was talking to Scott about these team breaks on Whatnot, where you bid randomly on an NFL team, and there's a wheel, and you bid a certain amount of money. And there's people bidding $2, $3, $4, $8, $1,200. Scott's gonna be that person bidding like $800 like 3 times in one stream.
Right. Come on, Dolphins.
Because he got like the Raiders and he wants the Dolphins.
Well, happy episode 250. This was fun. And next week is our last this was really our last regular No New Friends episode, because next week will be kind of the farewell to No New Friends from our perspective. And then the following week, October 16th, you've got to be a member of our Discord, which is free. Just go to our website, click on that. But we're going to be putting a link to our episode, and that gives you the opportunity to ask us questions, share your favorite memory, share what you don't like. Off.
Yeah.
Curse us off, whatever you want to do. That's an opportunity to leave a 1-star verbal review.
We should invite some. Actually, I have 2 people in mind we should invite. that would make the show pretty aggressive.
Yeah. So we're going to do it on Zoom, so you don't have to worry about Riverside messing up. But that'll be October 16th. So next week is farewell NNF from our perspective, and then final one is kind of ask a host, or I don't know what we'll call it, audience participation night. And then October 23rd is the very first episode of Parents Night Out. We're so excited about it. It's going to be the same show with a different name, couple different things sprinkled in there that we're working on, but we're really excited about it. We're really excited about the searchability and name change and some of the cool things we're going to do.
And thank you, James Yon.
We're going to bedazzle it. We're going to glitter it. It's going to be gay.
It probably will be gay.
But parenting, yeah.
Yes. Chris, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on Whatnot at Christopher Yob. You can find me on Instagram at Chris Yob. You can find me on TikTok at Chris Yob NNF.
I don't know why I went to you first. Sorry. Nick, where can our listeners find you?
Right now you can find me at home for the next week, and then I'll head to Disney in 2 weeks. But for now, you can find me on Instagram at Emotional Support K Nick, and on all social media platforms at Sandpiper Vacations.
Sarah?
You can find me on the TikTok at SuperSarah94 or on the Instagram at Old Soul Thrift.
Alex?
Just look up Disneyverse, DIZNEYVERSE, and you can watch anything on social media or YouTube via my Disney and Chris's Disney podcast. Fun thing I'm doing, I am putting out a weekly fantasy football video for our fantasy league in our Patreon, and Scott joins me on most of those videos, so check it out.
And of course, all of the show's social media links are right there on our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise, join our clubhouse, become a friend with benefits. And don't forget, if you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review. Really helps us out. Check us out on YouTube, all that good stuff. On behalf of our producer, Alex, Nick, Sarah, Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, bitches.
No new friends, just the old and the bold. In the world of gays, we're the ones who hold. Scott, Chris, Sarah, and Nick, a tale to be told. Welcome to the podcast where adulting unfolds. Where adulting unfolds. Where adulting unfolds.